Also, like advocating for community development block grant dollars as well. Look, y'all, folks are going to, if this passes, people are going to potentially have to pay for fee for services for emergency medical services. And so, as a state lawmaker, I'm going to work to just make sure that we are bringing in dollars as much as possible, infrastructure dollars, community development block dollars, whatever we can to make sure that these counties and governments, local governments, aren't obsolete. They're not going. Sorry.
Thank you, Representative Nixon. Just the challenges it faces firsthand. So, I am impacted by changes in public education, including restrictions on books and Black history lessons, budget cuts, and the increasing stress placed on teachers. I see their weight our educators carry every day as they work hard to support students despite limited resources and growing demands. My question concerns public education only. If you become governor, what specific actions will you take to ensure the survival and success of public education? How will you support public schools, invest in teachers, and make sure every student has access to a quality education? Public education is the foundation of many students' future, and I would like to know how you plan to protect and strengthen it.
Well, thank you so much for that question, Trinity. So I'm actually running for United States Senate, not governor. Don't want those problems. But no, in regards to protecting public education, so I am the product of public schools. All of my 4 school-age children attend a public school. And so I believe that we need to make sure that they're fully funded. Number one, when I get to Washington, D.C., I'm going to work with Congress to hopefully draw up some impeachment paperwork to get rid of that WWE lady. She does not need to be overseeing the Department of Education, number one, and she needs to be removed, right? Number two, we need to make sure that we are, in fact, paying our educators. So I am fully supportive of passing the wealth the ultra wealth tax that Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Ro Khanna support, which would tax the billionaires, the ultra millionaires, and use some of that funding to actually pay teachers a living wage, invest in teachers so that they can get a minimum. They want a minimum of $60,000. I'm saying it should be a minimum of $65,000, as well as making sure that tenured teachers get a lot more than that, right? I also want to pass a Freedom to Learn Act. I did file that legislation here in the State House, but want to make it federalized so that there is state governments will not be able to teach inaccurate history. Also, we need to look at doing what Republicans do a lot of times, and that's hold up the purse strings, right? Do not provide funding to states that don't teach accurate history. To states that don't allow free lunch and free breakfast and that type of things, and they'll get their act together. So those are some of the ways that I would try to ensure public education is good. Also, Title I dollars, making sure that Title I dollars that these schools have them. Faith in Florida so much for having me tonight. Thank you, everyone that has joined me this evening. I am State Representative Angie Nixon, and I am humbly asking for your vote and your support come August 18th. Look, y'all, we are boldly being attacked right now, and in this moment, it's requiring bold leadership, bold, unapologetic leadership that is willing to show up and do the work. I am the most experienced candidate in this race. I know what it's like to operate in a extremist legislature and also delivering. I've been able to expand access to affordable child care for low-income and working families. I've also been able to stop price gouging. I'm also the only candidate in this race that has spoken out in regards to the gutting of the Voting Rights Act. I'm the only candidate that's willing to get arrested to protect our civil rights, right? And I am the only candidate that will show up whenever I am asked, right, as well as fight for you all always. And so please go to angienixon.com, join our People Power campaign, and I look forward to becoming your next United States Senator.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
For you is, would you support or sponsor legislation that provides greater certainty and stability for recipients of temporary protected status, as known as TPS, from all designated countries, while Congress works toward comprehensive immigration reform? If your answer is yes, why do you believe this legislation is important? If no, why not? Thank you.
So it's neither yes or no. So the issue is, yes, there are people who need it, and yes, there are people who don't need it. So my legislation on immigration reform would be extensive, where anybody who is illegal and who has committed a crime will have no protection in this country. But if there are people who came here with the right intention, are working hard and contributing to the progress and development of this country, I will support them. So it will really depend upon the person. So there has to be a very complete application, investigation, and a vetting process that needs to be in the immigration department. And so I do believe that there are people who are good, and a bad apple is spoiling the whole lot. But it is important to weed out those bad apples and let the people who are truly the right people for the country be given the proper TPS if they need it.
Retirement funds runs out in late 2032. That is a 22% cut to my check in 6 years. What will you do to protect it from being reduced?
Well, this has always been a fear at every generation. But the investments and the way the Social Security works, I don't think it will be depleted. There will be more avenues to bring, to keep the Social Security of the people intact and the retirement funds intact. It would be really far-fetched to think that America would not be able to protect it. But during the budgets and the debt, all the financial figuring out will always protect Social Security, and we're all already working actually on increasing the Social Security for the people. So I would not be afraid of that. I would be pretty confident that the Social Security will be guaranteed by the time you retire.